Nice energy, Michael Pratt. Nice home wire. Just move that body for a moment. Susan Metterich, nice to see you. Make a little noise if you're feeling good. Amy Terry. Nice, Francois Martin. That's it. Kathleen Cruz got the moves. Yeah, Christopher Boyd, come on, baby, show us your moves, Christopher. There you go. How you doing, brother? Whoa, make a little sound that wakes you up out there. Make a sound that excites you, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa. Well, virtual high fives around there. Anybody near you, around you, or on the screen? How you all doing out there? First of all, I want to thank Dean, my partner. Dean, give it up for Dean, first of all, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. You know, my whole life is seeing people become not just inspired, but see their life transformed. And you might say, why we run around clapping or moving? Because without energy, nothing gets accomplished. How many have ever woken up in the morning and your brain says, let's go get him, and your body says, I can't get out of bed, right? You have to train yourself for action. And one of the things I love about Dean is years ago we were talking and hanging out and chatting and talking about all the different people we've had the chance to touch and saying, you know, we're both so blessed because the blessing is, you know, in my case, I've been doing this for literally 45 years. In my 45th year, I started when I was 2, right? Hey, stop that. But I can't even believe it. 45 years. I started when I was 17 years old. I'm 62. And in that time period, almost half a century, I've had the privilege of working with about 8 million people in live seminars and obviously hundreds of millions of people through all the other avenues that I have. And I've seen what people are capable of. And it didn't start out because I was some genius full of energy and excitement. I built muscle. You know, it's like, you know, I was the scrawny kid on the beach who would kick the sand in. And I don't just mean physical muscle, I mean emotional muscle. You know, if you're going to change your life, you're not going to do it without energy and you're not going to do it without training and skill. If you get the energy, you can get the training and skill. And the energy's inside you, but you got to unleash it. And what stops it is fear. And we all have it. We're all afraid of failure. We're all afraid of disappointment. We're afraid of getting hurt. We're afraid of being alone. We're afraid of, you know, success even, because what if we don't keep succeeding? And fear is the one element that gets in the way of just about everybody's lives. But if you're here today, I just want to thank you and acknowledge you. I know there was no cost for it for you, but it's still your time. And, you know, when Dean and I were talking a few years ago, we said, you know, we have this privilege to not just do what we love, but do something that's so meaningful because we get to hear the stories, see people's lives, and have them tell us what they've done. And wouldn't it be incredible if we could help more people to get in our industry? Because as you've seen, the industry is growing geometrically. There's been a transformation, and quite frankly, as horrible as COVID has been for so much, it has opened up an opportunity for self-education at a level that's never existed in my lifetime that allows you to accelerate what took me decades to do. You can literally do in a few days or a few weeks without exaggeration, without hyperbole. So the next 5 days, our goal is to add so much value to you that you're out of your mind, that you come away saying, I know what to do, I know where to go. I'm going to make this thing happen. I'm going to actually build a little business on the side. And that business could be something that makes you $100 to $1,000 a month, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. We have people earning twice and 3 times that. But they're doing, more importantly, something they love. They're able to do it from home. They're able to be around their children or their family. And they're able to still do other things if they want. It all depends on what you want. So I don't know why you came here or why you're interested. I don't know if you're frustrated with inflation, you're worried about what's happening to the economy, where the country's going, and you're like, I want to find some way to take control of my life financially, my own little economy. Or maybe you're doing great, you just want to take it to another level, or maybe you're doing extraordinary and you just want to magnify it. Whatever your goals are, the next 5 days, we're going to over-deliver for you. But I want you to know just up front the secret to it all, because you're going to meet so many different people. You know, I'm 6'7", I'm somewhat passionate, I have a hard time expressing how I really feel about things, that kind of thing. So I might not be the role model for you. You might say, well, I'm nothing like that crazy, tall, insane guy. By the way, I was 5'1" in high school. I'm now 6'7". I tell people the difference is personal growth, right? But the bottom line is, for me, I started with nothing. I started with no background, no education. No one in my family had any business background whatsoever. We struggled for food. When I was 11 years old, we had no money for food, and somebody fed my family, and that set me on a different course in my life. Part of the success I've been able to do, I've been able to bring to people that would never benefit or never be able to be exposed to my work. And that's people that literally don't have the food to eat like my family was. So now I fed 2 families, and then 4, and then 8, starting when I was 17. And now, a few years ago, I upped the number, and I said, I'm going to feed 100 million people a year, 100 million meals a year. And now I did that 7 years ago, and we're at 920 million meals. I said I fed 1 billion people. We're going to feed 1 billion people, 1 billion meals. Give you an idea. It's pretty amazing. I tell you that not to, pat myself on the back. It's just, it blows my mind that I went from a place where we had no food to where I can provide 1 billion meals for people. I'm also doing now a 1 billion meal challenge, next prize, where we got people competing around the world to feed the next 1 billion. What are the best solutions for that to happen? I'm privileged enough to have my own airplane now, but I'm not stupid. I understand the impact of that is around the world. So I found out that's about 3,000 trees a year. So I planted 100 million trees, 71 million so far of 100 million trees. These are things that are so far beyond what I could have imagined. It's crazy. But I could work with presidents of countries or sports teams or businesses. These were not within the range of anything I could even have considered. But there's something really beautiful about life. It's one word that'll make you happy. One word will get you what you all want: progress. Progress, continuous progress, even a little bit of progress that you can do over years or over decades will get you to places you can't even imagine. So we're not here to show you how to get rich overnight instantly without working, because that's all BS and you know it, and so do we. But if you really want to figure out in the next few days how you could take a small portion of your time and take something either that you know, or in my case, I didn't know things. I took what Jim Rohn, my original teacher, knew and bring it to people initially. And doing it in a way that doesn't make you have to be a salesman or a skilled person in an area because of where we are today with technology, and build an income, but also builds an experience of life that's meaningful. You cannot believe what you can build it into. And your dream might be really simple. Might be something you can achieve in a few months or a few years. It might be something that you're going to build over many years. But the answers are here. And you'll see them in so many examples over the next few days. You'll meet Jenna Kircher, a friend of ours who, spent, I think, $300, if I remember, for a camera that she bought, and started taking pictures, and then started saying, I'm pretty good at this, and started learning more, and then started helping other women, saying, look, you could develop this as a business, and then develop their courses. And, now Jenna's a full businesswoman, making millions of dollars per year in a business where she gets to be home, be with her kids, and raise them, and have a beautiful time. She's become a dear friend, and she's got time for life. She isn't rushing around trying to figure out how to make it all work. She's doing it at her tempo, her way, and really doing incredibly well. If you look around and you'll see a lot of faces here, people of different backgrounds and areas and so forth, but this week you're going to meet people from every walk of life as well. I remember meeting Russell Brunson, and he came to one of my seminars years ago, and I really liked him. He'd been a college wrestler, and he was trying to figure out what to do, and holy cow, in less than a decade, he's built a business worth almost $1 billion, all doing exactly what we're going to be showing you here to give you an idea. And then there are people that have figured out simple things like, I have 5 kids and 5 grandkids, And my oldest kid is now, well, my oldest daughter is 48. My youngest daughter now is 14 months old. So I got quite a span, to give you an idea. But little things can change people's lives. And so we had a lady who, her child had eczema, really bad eczema. I know a lot of young children do this. And she figured out how to clear up the eczema, did this little course on it, and just completely sold out. Showed people how to get rid of the pain in their little babies. There are people here that have decided, you know what? We ended our marriage consciously and we're still great parents together, and they did a course on it. And people are like, I'd like to know how to do that and not hate my ex. How do I really make this thing work? There are people who have done programs, to give you an idea, who have a professional skill, like a tax guy, and he's teaching other tax people how they can make their business more effective, how they can get greater results for their clients. So there are literally the niches, as Dean mentioned earlier, there's 4,700 different niches. There's something out there that some problem you have, or your problem becomes a gift because you can solve it for other people. Almost everything I teach, it's not I'm so smart. It's just like whenever I had a huge problem, whatever it was in my business or my body, I was overweight, I couldn't turn it around, I was 38 pounds heavier, or whether it was finances, whatever it was, the one thing kept me going is like, if I can solve this within myself, then I can help millions of other people solve it. And today, millions of other people is not an exaggeration because of the internet. Because the cost to do something like that before would have been insane, but today it's completely different. Let me give you a sense. Like when I started out, when you had to walk uphill both ways to school, 2 miles through the snow, you know how that works, right? But when I started out, really, it's like I heard this man named Jim Rohn speak. How many have ever heard of Jim Rohn? Any of you out there familiar with him?